You guys, my name is Dr. Kiana Jones, and I am excited to discuss how to start a med spa in 2025. This video is for those who are deciding to start their own aesthetic or wellness practice, but really want to know how to do it in the year of 2025. And your girl is going to help you do just that.
Wake up in the morning feeling like gonna eat my greens, gonna do it.
That. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. My name is Dr. Kiana Jones. I'm owner and founder of Lux Beauty and Wellness Boutique, as well as Lux Beauty Academy, and I am excited to discuss how to start a med spa in 2025. This channel is dedicated to nurses and nurse practitioners who are looking to dive into entrepreneurship, and I am a nurse practitioner who just happens to also be an entrepreneur. And so it's my goal to show you how to launch your practice as lean as possible, as cost efficient as possible. You guys, if you have not watched my other video, I created a video about, it'll be almost 2 years, where I talked to you guys about how to launch your med spa. But now we're going to add the 2025 at the end of that, because you guys, things have just changed around these parts. Today's video is super special because it is about how to launch your practice in 2025. And I'm just going to tell you guys and be straight up, things have changed. I mean, I've been in business since 2017, and when I tell you the changes that have occurred in the last 2 years alone is unreal. Now, here's the thing. I've been coaching and teaching nurses since 2021 officially, right? I started in 2020, but I would say I officially started coaching nurses and nurse practitioners and even physicians to launching their practice as of 2021. And you guys, things have just changed. When AI started, it changed the game for me and my coaching practice, because now we're able to do this thing a lot more efficiently and save a lot more money, and using an artificial intelligence that is a lot more smarter than we are. So I would say, number one, the way I would start a med spa in 2025 is to make sure you know and understand and use in your day-to-day life artificial intelligence. More specifically, there are two that I highly recommend, you guys. Not just ChatGPT, because I know everyone knows about ChatGPT, which is one of them, but you also should be using Perplexity. Perplexity is also a large language model that helps you identify and gather data about a certain topic, and it will link the actual resource. So it basically searches the World Wide Web to get you the data, and it will link the resources so you can see if it's a credible source. GPT has the ability to do that as well. It can search the internet, but it's still not as good as Perplexity. So if I was launching an aesthetic practice, wellness practice in 2025, I would definitely make sure I at least have those two large language models, the artificial intelligence, ChatGPT and Perplexity, on my to-do list. Like, you need to learn that for sure, because you will be using it when it's time to build your business plan, when it's time to build your business. All right. How many large language models? 2. One of them is ChatGPT. The second one is Perplexity. I would definitely make sure I at least know how to work those, because you will be using them in a business. For example, we know that ChatGPT can help us do something like build a business plan. It can even help us make our protocols more refined. We can do kind of comparative analysis. Maybe if we get other protocols that people have, put it in alignment to our protocols, make it a little bit more compliant with certain regulatory bodies. You can use ChatGPT for that. But let's say you want to sift through the internet and sift through journal articles and find out what is the best way to treat a patient who has hormone imbalances. Or let's say you're offering tox, like a neurotoxin, and you want to find out what the data says about neurotoxin in women who are over the age of 50. Those are very specific examples that I gave you, but that's where Perplexity comes in, because you can use that to kind of validate what you're doing. So when you're doing your market research and you're looking at data, you can literally go on Perplexity and sift through peer-reviewed scholarly articles, and it will help you dissect the articles and answer the question of, is this right? Is this not? Or is this the best route to take as far as launching this business? It can look all of that up for you, you guys. So yes, number one I would start with if I was launching is artificial intelligence. After you have decided that you are going to make sure to use ChatGPT and Perplexity, at least, by the way, they are free right now. This is why I so strongly suggest this. I actually have the paid version of ChatGPT, but Perplexity, I don't have the paid version because I don't use it enough, where I don't see the value in actually paying for it. but even ChatGPT is only $20. So definitely suggest that you get the paid version of that. Next, number two, what I would do is I would seek out a medical director. Now, if you're a nurse practitioner, then you might not need a medical director. It just depends on your state. But we know that all nurses need a medical director. If you're a nurse practitioner, you may not need a medical director. Why? Because you can be your own medical director in some states. So if I were you and I was thinking about launching my wellness or aesthetic practice and I was a nurse, meaning I'm not an advanced practice nurse, but I'm a registered nurse, I would definitely seek out a medical director. Now, my clients, my mentees are having no problem finding their medical director, you guys, in 2025. Why? Because LinkedIn now has an option for you to post jobs on LinkedIn. And what I have them do is create a job description using ChatGPT, create a job description for a medical director. I have them take their business plan that we created, plug it into ChatGPT, and tell ChatGPT, here is my business plan. I am searching for a medical director on LinkedIn. Provide me with a job post for LinkedIn for a medical director based on my business plan. Seeking someone who will be a good fit for the vision that I have in this business plan. And then use exactly what ChatGPT puts out. You may not use exactly, but you do want to review it in case there's some changes. But if you give it a good enough prompt, it should almost be to the T of what you can use in LinkedIn. You can use Indeed as well and ZipRecruiter, by the way. But what I find about LinkedIn is they are better qualified. They are more invested, meaning like they are going to give you more information about them and what they bring to the table. So they are more in a position where they know that they are partnering with you and not coming on as the savior, right? By the way, I should have added, so step one was artificial intelligence. Step two is using artificial intelligence to build your business plan. I do not recommend starting a business without a business plan, you guys. That is like getting in a car without a destination. And before you make any investments on starting your wellness or aesthetic practice, you guys need to sit down and take the time to write out the plan. All right, and then step three is obtaining the medical director, because you need to have your business plan in order to use ChatGPT to find the right medical director who would best fit your business. Step number four is compliance. Now, every state is different when it comes to the corporation that you're going to need, but it doesn't matter what state, you definitely need a corporation. I divide our states into two separate categories. One either requires you to have a specific corporation that's directly for medical corporations in their state, and then others say you can just have a regular corporation, we don't care. That means if you're a nurse, LV, CNA, medical assistant, nurse practitioner, a doctor, it doesn't matter. You don't even have to be in healthcare. You can own a medical practice. Yeah, I know that. Yes, I know that may be a surprise to some of you guys, but business is business. We live in a capitalistic country. Yes, there are some states where they're like, anybody can own. We don't care. But you can't practice. Like, just because you are a business person doesn't mean you can go and inject some neurotoxins and filler, right? So yes, in some states, anybody can own. In other states, not anybody can own. And those other states that not anybody can own a medical practice, those are the states that require a specific type of corporation before you can launch your practice. Okay, so remember, two different states. One says anybody can own, and they don't really have any specifics on the type of corporation you have when you're owning a medical practice. And the other state has specific requirements as far as corporations are concerned in owning medical practices. In those states, only medical providers can own. So you may be in one of two different states. One of the things that I teach my mentees in my program is that you don't have to know all the legalities of this, because you're not attorneys. What you need to know is that in order to set this thing up and to increase the likelihood that it is set up appropriately and compliantly, you need to hire a healthcare law attorney. That's what I suggest. Now, if you were in my mentorship and then I knew specifically what state you were in, I may have small little nuances based on the state, because I've been doing it so long. But if you're not in my mentorship and I'm telling you this from like a training on YouTube, I will give you guys a blanket statement, which is get your healthcare law attorney, just to be on the safe side, so you're not potentially compromising your license. All right. So on to the next step. You don't have to start your practice offering Botox or neurotoxins or hyaluronic acid, which is fillers. You don't have to do that. You can actually start your practice offering GLP-1s, even if you're not offering GLP-1s, because there's some changes that's happening now. But you can offer weight loss treatments, you guys. You can focus on skincare, and you can offer more regenerative biohacking drips and have a 7-figure business. And so the model that I use with my mentees is just that. If you are like wellness, right, you can just start with something like weight loss and skin treatments and literally regenerative medicine. Now, if you know that you want to ultimately offer neurotoxin and you want to get really skilled in advanced aesthetics, that's great. But here's what I want to remind you. There's a huge learning curve for that. Now, what I mean, it doesn't mean don't do it. It just means give yourself time to grow your skill, because it's aesthetics, it's art, it's beauty. You are literally crafting someone else's face. So because of that, you want to make sure that you have the time to learn your craft. Now, if you're launching a practice and you have a good mentor, they should be telling you, listen, we need you to get some money up in here. The goal is for you to be profitable as quickly as possible. So think about offering these treatments in the beginning so that you can start bringing in revenue as quickly as possible, getting your skill set up with the aesthetic treatments, learning your craft as far as injectables, growing in that space over time so that you're not feeling the pressure of, oh, I have to hurry up and make money, because these treatments are not cheap. They're not cheap to front, as meaning at cost for you. A vial of Dysport is like almost $600 or $600+ dollars. Like, it's not cheap. So that's just the cost for you. So now if you've worked at a practice before, that's a whole different route that I would take you. But most of you guys who are watching my video have never practiced. You're just interested in it. And so I'm really talking to you guys. Go with the low-hanging fruit. Don't be influenced by what other people are out there doing. Go with the low-hanging fruit, I'm telling you, and then build your business off of that. If you get a solid 15 to 20 clients who are on like a membership plan, who are coming to see you every 3 months, that is the recipe for a multi-6-figure wellness business. Now, when it comes to concierge versus brick and mortar, I say start in a small suite. Medical office building is great, but in some states you can do concierge even with aesthetics, even with the wellness treatments, and that's also an option. There's nothing wrong with that as long as it's legal. Most states it is, and some states not so much, okay? You can do it. You just have to be creative and be willing to step outside of your comfort zone. That's it. There's business models that can adapt to your lifestyle, that can adapt to your price point, but I will tell you, it is an investment. So if you're looking to like, oh yeah, I don't want to pay, I just want to start a business for free, well, you're watching the wrong channel. Your business model should ultimately be decided from your business plan. So when you're working through your business plan, you should already have a general idea of how much you're going to invest, and then what your business model is going to be, what services or treatments you're going to offer in your practice. All of that should be decided on the front end. Now, will you make changes? Of course you will. As you continue to navigate and grow through it, you will find that, okay, no, I don't want to do this. Yes, I want to do that. I call it a living, breathing document. It will definitely change. But by the time you get to your business model, that should have already been decided. First is artificial intelligence. We use that to make the business plan. We use that to help us find the medical director. Then we get a healthcare law attorney, making sure our business is structured correctly. Once we do that, we actually execute on the business model. So that may mean searching for an office building if that's what you're looking for, or deciding to do the concierge if that's what you're going to do. And then the next thing is going to be to set up your account. So depending on what treatments you're going to offer, those are the vendors you're going to go through. When you are setting up and you have all these things, you have to make sure you have your consents. You have to make sure you have your protocols in place, your policies in place, you guys, and you can use AI for that. Yes, but it's not official until your medical director approves it. Now, when we set up our vendor accounts, it's not just for treatments. We also have to set up our medical supplies account, right? So we can order the medical supplies that we need for treatments. That's extremely important as well. So you have all of those set up, you guys. You have a business. You have a business now. Yes, I said that. You have a business. Follow those steps. Now that we have the business set up, we want to make sure that it's a true business and not an expensive hobby. Now, how do we make sure we have a true business and not an expensive hobby? We focus on marketing and sales. We got to get some people to pay us. Other than that, This was just something for fun. And we don't want to just do things for fun. We want to do it so that we can have the freedom that we are in search of, right? Now, you already have your business plan. In your business plan, you should have laid out a marketing and sales strategy. The marketing is like how you're going to get in front of the people who have the problem that you have the solution for. And then sales is them actually exchanging value for value, meaning they're giving you money for what you are giving them to solve their problem. That is essentially sales. We need to get some money coming in here. So you need to spend some time learning your sales and marketing. Here's what I want to say. Don't throw money at that thing. I know a lot of you out there are going to want to hire marketing agencies and have other people deal with that problem because you don't want to learn it. But I'm going to tell you right now from experience, unfortunately, the biggest mistake you can make is bringing someone in and expecting them to execute on a vision that you have. Yes, I said that. So that means that you are going to have to step back and take some time and at least learn the fundamentals of marketing and sales. All right, so artificial intelligence, building your business plan, making sure you obtain your medical director, making sure you hire a healthcare law attorney for compliance, structuring your business model correctly, setting up your vendor accounts, marketing, and sales. So that was 7 things in 2025. I would definitely suggest these 7 steps that you guys follow, and I would integrate artificial intelligence through it all. I'm sorry to tell you guys this in case no one has ever told you this, but AI is much smarter than us. And so if you don't adapt to this, you are going to be on the outs. People who are adapting are the ones who are going to survive. And probably they say the greatest transference of wealth is happening right before our eyes. Even those who are launching a business, you can use AI throughout. You should be using it every day. If you're not using artificial intelligence every single day, you are doing something wrong. All right, you guys, I hope this video was enjoyable for you. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening. If you found this training valuable, you guys, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. And I also have a gift for you guys. The free MedSpa mini training is a more intense training. It's super short, but it's straight to the point of how to launch your aesthetic practice. You guys, I would love for you to take the course. It's my gift to you. Until next time, bye.